Welcome back to another edition of Research Fantasy Presents NBA Fantasy Baller DFS edition for this Tuesday, April 11th, 2017. I'm your host, as always, Nick Valinchak, better known as Nick from CWE on all of your favorite daily fantasy sites, and we're here to talk about my three favorite tournament plays tonight on this 5-game end of the season NBA slate. There's no question about it. This is, in fact, the ugliest slate all year, and I almost can't even put into words what to do. You're going to just, the mentality I think is to just focus on the teams who are relatively predictive in what they're going to do, like the Kings, like the Suns, like the Timberwolves. Russell Westbrook's really the only high-priced guy on the slate other than someone we'll talk about in a second here. If he doesn't play, which I think they mentioned that he might sit, I mean, it's just going to be I think you're just going to see a lot of lineups that are way too chalky, and your ability to make a difference in your line, like, it's going to end up causing your lineups to look more like NASCAR lineups, where not a huge chance that you're going to be able to separate from the pack to win anything big, because you've got such few options that everybody's using the same option. It might be a night, too, that you might have to resolve yourself to leaving way more money on the table than you're comfortable with. So, as of 9 a.m. this morning, here are my three favorite tournament plays. Let's start things off today with Willie Cauley-Stein of the Sacramento Kings going up against the Phoenix Suns, priced at 6.6K. I mean, and I use DraftKings pricing as my basis. So for me, a lot of this is matchup. We know the Suns, very sloppy, very young. Not to say that the Kings aren't in the same position themselves this year. Stein's best game came against these guys a couple of weeks ago. He put up almost 50 fantasy points. Like, I gotta be honest, I don't really love the price, because he's not a guy that's routinely, like, cracking that 30 to mid-30 mark. You know, if you look through his last 10 games, he's done it twice. And then if you start going further back, it doesn't get any better. But that's where we are on the slate tonight. I don't think, we're going to see too much out of Paul Millsap. I think they're relatively settled in where they're at. Julius Randle continues to lose sometimes. So I feel comfortable rocking Willie Cauley-Stein tonight at his price. Moving on from there, let's head over to Phoenix, the other side of the game. Let's go Devin Booker, 8.4K. I would have never thought that I wanted to pay that much for him, but this is the time I think I'm going to be in on doing it. This is one of the more attractive games of the 5, if not the most attractive game of the 5 tonight. Booker coming off a game where TJ Warren just really put things together, and it really wasn't something Booker needed to do to keep the Suns into the game, and that's always a possibility. But the Kings notoriously bad against the shooting guard position over the last few years. If you're going to spend up and use some of that money, I want to use someone who's got 50-plus point upside, and that's where Devin Booker falls in tonight, so I'll have my fair share of him. In lieu of Russell Westbrook, the only other high-priced option tonight is Karl-Anthony Towns. He is 10-2, and he's going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is an interesting position because I think this is actually a price that's way too cheap for Towns, as opposed to Westbrook and his 13.9K salary that we'd have to absorb this evening. Obviously, Westbrook has a much, much, much higher ceiling than Towns, but I don't think that the Thunder have anything left to really play for. Russell Westbrook has broken the triple-double record. Their playoff positioning is solid. So to me, this screams like a situation where, you know, at 6:15, we're going to see that what Russell Westbrook is sitting. Tom Thibodeau, to me at least, his mentality has become, there's 82 games a year. If you're going to be a playoff team, you have to understand you need to be playing 82 games a year. This is something the Cavs, for example, could have probably taken and used this year instead of suffering what they are suffering right now, where they're wobbling themselves into the playoffs, consistently just coughing up anything they possibly can. But, you know, I think he's trying to instill a winning mentality, and I think that comes first in basketball. We know that the talent of the Timberwolves is there. You know, they'll get another good draft pick this year. They're going to be stockpiled with talent. I think this is a situation where you'll see Thibodeau run his guys the same amount of minutes. And, you know, with a guy like Towns, you're looking at 70-point upside if everything goes right. I think that he's a guy I want to have in my tournament lineups as long as I think he's going to see the minutes he normally does. So, once again, our favorite tournament plays as of 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Willie Cauley-Stein, Devin Booker, Karl-Anthony Towns. Thanks for joining us today. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel below. Head over to researchfantasy.com. Sign up for our NBA mailing list. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Research and Win. And join us again tomorrow.